All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to Marilyn's little call for. Gosh, I got all flabbergasted here. Welcome to Aderonda and Company, and welcome to the webinar tonight. Marilyn's going to come forward in just a second. We were just having a little talk here before we came on, and we are so excited to see all of you tonight. We've got a really good turnout, and it was really fun putting together this program with Marilyn and Christy in the background because we really feel like we struck a chord, and I'm sure Marilyn will talk a little bit more. And it really totally came from Marilyn's heart. I mean, Christy and I both, Christy Daniels is in the background helping us out, and my name is Joy Roby for those of you who are with us for the first time. But it was really great working with Marilyn on this program because it was a very emotional experience, and it was very heartfelt, like we could really get behind what she was talking about. So I'll bring her forward in just a second. I'm just going to go over a little bit of housekeeping before we get started. For those of you who join us many times each year on the double digit call, this is very familiar to you, but for those of you who have never been on webinars on air before, I just want to tell you how it works. There is a little question mark box on the left-hand side of your screen, and if you have a question for Marilyn, and maybe Adironnda, I don't know if Adironnda is going to come forward yet, but if you have a question, please type it into the question box, and I will be happy to relay it for you. I do look for universal questions, so if your question doesn't get asked, it's probably because it was either too personal, so try to make your questions universal, or it's because it was very similar to somebody else's question that they asked. And so the sooner you get your questions into the question box, the better chance you have of being of me asking your question, because they start to load up there at the end. We also have a chat box that we love to see where you're joining us from. So if you can log on to the chat box on the left-hand side and say hello and let us know where you're listening to us from, and if this is your first time joining Aderonda and Company, we'd really like to hear from you as well so that we can acknowledge you. So with no further ado, I will bring Marilyn Harper forward, who is in Springfield, Missouri. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona, and Christy, who's in the background, is in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We love technology. All right, Marilyn, are you there?
Yes, I am here. I am live and in person, coming to you direct from Springfield, Missouri. I always wanted to say that. Yeah, it's really amazing. I guess if people want to actually meet and see Christy, they'll have to come to our Visionaries in Light convergence in Hot Springs, Arkansas, because she's going to be one of the speakers. But when she's on the webinar, she's always in the background, holding down the fort, answering questions, helping people get on. It's really an amazing operation, and I would really just like to thank each of you. I'd like to thank each of you for being here with us, for extending your Tuesday night, and if you're listening to this on Wednesday morning, if you're in Australia, for getting up early, or if you're in Israel, getting up in the middle of the night, and because we've got some folks here with us from Israel, to acknowledge what it is that we're doing. And this webinar is entitled "No Excuses: A Guide to Optimal Health Forever." And I'm not going to guarantee you that at the end of this webinar that you're going to have optimal health. However, I will give you some really good, strong, juicy tips that will, if you take advantage of them, will shift your health in a really big way. And yes, Adironnda will be here later on, and we'll do a super powerful activation. I actually went into meditation with Adironnda today and thought, well, I'll just spend about 10 minutes and go into it. I came back like 45 minutes later, 35 minutes later, so it was very powerful and very cool. To give you a little bit about the background of this, I'm guessing that you saw the letter, you saw the ad, you saw something that brought you to this webinar. So you'll know a little bit about why this has happened. as Joy said, I have to hand it to Joy and Christy, because it was like a week ago that I got this information so strongly that it was like I had no choice. I had to share it, and I was like, I'll either do it now or do it on my own somehow, which I don't even know how to do all that. But it was so strong that it had to happen right now, and I really think that the reason is because so many people are being recalibrated, rewired, re-tech, they're shifting we're shifting the consciousness of the planet, and for many people it's happening in a physical way. It's and many people are not paying attention to their physical, because it's a lot easier to not pay attention to it. But then, what happened to me will happen to you, and I'm kind of a trailblazer. I've been told by every reader I've ever had, every time I've ever had any reading with Aderonda, it's like I call myself a hacker, but the term trailblazer is better. I'm the one in front with the machete that's hacking their way through the jungle and saying, "Come on, come this way," and that's kind of what I'm doing today and in this webinar. And I want to be totally transparent with you. At the end of this webinar, I have a special offer that I want to share with you. I feel so passionate about it. I just really, I really want to share it, and I'll tell you more about it at the end, but you may want to get pencil and paper, because you may want to take a few notes on the webinar and then take some notes on our special offer, because I feel so passionate about this in a way that I've not felt really before, and I think it's because I came down to a hole. I came down to a passage within my body that I either had to look deeper or get off. And I'm not going to get off. I'm not going to stop what I'm doing, but I had to come to reckoning with my own integrity. When I would say, I know Adironnda always says, put your hand on your heart. I love myself. I love my life. I love blah, 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 all that, which is true. I do love myself. I do love my life. However, am reckoning with the fact that when I said I love my body, it felt empty. It felt untruthful. And that's really hard for me to say. It's really hard for me to share that. And I have Kleenexes right here, so I hope I don't cry. but because, you see, I'm a spiritual teacher. I do private sessions. I do retreats and seminars and webinars and have a monthly double-digit activation, which is so amazing. I should know all this stuff. I should get it. But I'm also still in a human body, and I get to be a trailblazer, and I figured that if I'm feeling like my body is working against me, there ought to be a whole host of other people that are feeling the same way. And so I have been working with a program of mine, and I want to share that with you, but I'll do that later. First, for those of you that have joined us for the first time that you don't really have any clue who I am or what I do, I'm a channel. I channel Aderonda and company. Aderonda is a spokesbeing for a council of 12 or more. Aderonda is from the 17th dimension, so they don't have bodies there. So they're getting used to my form. In that capacity, we have a radio show tomorrow that is on at 11 o'clock Pacific time that is an Ask Aderonda show. So if you want to ask personal questions about anything you want, come to that show on Blog Talk Radio. But in the meantime, I really want to share with you some of the things that I've learned. I shared in the letter, if you received the letter, that when I traveled to Thailand, I felt like my body was working against me. It really started before then. Um, in 2010, I did a weight loss program and lost 70 pounds, but and felt great. Didn't have asthma anymore. Didn't felt great. Didn't my joints worked, my body worked, everything was working great. But I've spent the last 5 years every single trip putting 2 pounds on here, 3 pounds on here, to where now I'm back up where I was. I, I in the past, in January, where I was. Um, but this is not really about weight, and I want to make that very clear. This is about physical health. Your perfect weight, it doesn't matter what the pounds say, but if you are your perfect health, that's what we're going for. You see, in the fall, when I came back from my most recent tour, which was December 2014, when I got back, I was, for the first time ever, really exhausted. I was tired. I'd been traveling really for 4 years. My body was sluggish. I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't moving. Although in my past life, in this lifetime, I have been against exercise, uh, and now I know why. I'll tell you about that later. But it was. I just really felt like my body, my physical form, was mutinying against me. And and Aderonda, ever so gently, on the last radio show, Blog Talk Radio, Visionaries in Light, um, identified that as being out of integrity. And when I went into meditation in January, and that's what I got, and it's come back again now, I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I'm out of integrity. Well, there's an old line from a Shakespearean play called Macbeth. Um, yes, in my former lifetime, in this lifetime, I used to teach Shakespeare. And it says, the lady doth protest too much. So when you feel your ego standing up and saying, what do you mean? What are you talking about? That's exactly that's speaking the truth. That when your body is acting contrary to your own integrity, your own health, your own optimal energy, that throws everything a bit out of integrity. Now, I'm not saying if you've had an injury or have been diagnosed with cancer or been diagnosed with arthritis or rheumatoid or whatever, that everything's out of integrity and there's nothing you can do about it. What I'm saying is that it's time for you, time for me to take proactive action in taking charge of my own physical form. And that is really, really important. You could go on and on and on. Wah, wah, wah. Story, story, story. It's not about the backstory. It's really about what's happening now. How often do you say my back hurts? How often do you say I've got a clog in my throat? How often do you say I have been diagnosed with something as opposed to I have something? That's something I'd like you to start paying attention to. What is your language saying about yourself? And what all does that mean? You've probably all heard of Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, or Heal Your Body, A to Z. They actually have a cell phone app with Louise Hay's affirmations or new thought forms. But this winter, when I got back from Thailand in January, I mean to tell you, I was all puffed up. I was sluggish. My body, I was tired. My body was not responding. And this was the first time, really, my body had not responded to my own request of get back out on the road. Um, and just in case I had any doubt as to what I was to do, you know, sometimes all of us humans can be just a little bit stubborn. I don't know if any of you have ever felt that way, but uh, I was a little bit stubborn. Anyway, I was walking down some stairs and I was not paying attention. In Thailand, I'd had some challenges with my right knee and it had swollen up a little bit. And I wasn't bending. I couldn't sit on the floor in the temples like I wanted to for the first time ever. And and I was coming down some stairs and I heard something in the back of my knee snap. And I heard it and I felt it, went down. And needless to say, an hour later, I was officiating a big, huge church wedding. Thank goodness they were looking at the bride and the groom and not at the fact that I was limping. But that was a huge wake-up call for me. Um, I had to do something, and it was very clear that I was not going to be able to get back out on the road, go somewhere, do anything until I dealt with the parts of my physical form that were not in integrity. You see, on the last radio show, Aderonda said that in the new integrity is living in your entirety, living in your wholeness, living undiminished and limitless. Well, I was limited, and it was of my own doing that I was limited. I firmly believe that that can all change. In fact, I know that can all change because since January, since the end of January, I have discovered what was stopping me from desiring exercise and movement. And it was so simple. It was like so simple. But before I get into all that, I really need because we're going to talk about health aspects, we're going to talk about some exercise things, we're going to talk about going into your organs, and we're going to go into your organs later on. Adironnda is going to go into your organs and take you with him. and before I get into that, though, I really need you to sign something for me. So get out a piece of paper and a pen, or a writing utensil, hopefully, and I'll trust you that you're going to do this because I'm going to ask you to repeat some phrases after me. And this is a disclaimer, and I have to you get to the opportunity to understand that who I am and what I can do and who I am not and what you can do. So put your hand on your heart and put the other hand up in the air, or put your hand on whatever you call sacred. My computer, your computer. Raise your right hand and repeat these phrases after me. I'm going to read these too. I understand that Marilyn Harper is not a trained doctor, physical therapist, or medical professional. Repeat it after me. I understand that she is not a nutrition expert or a personal physical trainer. I understand that Marilyn Harper is a consciousness expert, a channel, an uncertified medical or health intuitive. I understand that she is not responsible for my own personal health aspects. I understand that even though Marilyn can help me see, feel, sense, hear, and know the messages of my own body, I am still responsible for my own progress. Repeat that. I understand. This is a really important one. I understand that if and when I exercise or move my body in any way, if I receive any type of injury, neither Marilyn Harper nor Aderonda and Company can be held responsible in any way. Repeat all that. You can do it. I understand that as a part of my own health experience, I know there are emotional core connections or triggers that cause physical things to happen. I understand Marilyn's expertise lies in connecting me to my own emotional core. And therefore, that emotional core will shift. And when it does, the rest of my body will also shift and follow that shifted higher vibration. Did you get that? I understand that Marilyn is capable of helping me raise my vibration so I can attract healthier aspects to me and make healthier choices for my body. I understand that she only provides the format for me to make physical, mental, and emotional and spiritual changes, but those changes are still up to me. I agree with all these statements, and I sign and date my paper right now. You see, many times when you talk about having an optimal health class or an optimal health energy, you're facilitated that energy by someone who is in perfect optimal health. And I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. And I want to take you with me. You see, with my knee, the knee is a support. I looked it up and it just, can I say this? It just pissed me off. Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Knee. I don't even want to read it. Represents pride and ego. Stubborn ego and pride. Inability to bend. Fear. Inflexibility. Won't give in. How many of you have knee problems? Your affirmation is, I am flexible and flowing. Forgiveness, understanding, and compassion. I bend and flow freely. All is well. Then, of course, I look at joints, because it was actually a meniscus tear in my knee. Joints. That's when I threw the book across the room. Represents changes in direction in life and the ease of these movements. If y'all have been around with us this year, you know that it has been one huge redirect. But I also know that your life is one huge redirect as well. I get that. And with the way things are right now, you have to be willing to live in total transparency. I don't know of another spiritual teacher that would get up here amongst 300 and some people and say, I've made a mistake. I've been making some choices that are not in my highest good. But I'm telling you that because I know I'm changing. And I know that when I shift, everything around us shifts. That's what it says on the back of our bottle. So therefore, we are a catalyst for shifting the consciousness of health on this planet. And you are here to help. And some of us are going to continue for the next 21 days and help. You see, all of this is about how we invoke our own livelihood. I experienced an injury that would stop me because otherwise I wouldn't have stopped myself. I would just keep on rolling. Even though I got the message to stop, slow down, take it slower, take it easy, my habit, I know some of you are really relating to this, my habit was to push and shift. Now, quite honestly, I know I'm a wonderful person. I know that miraculous things happen in our presence, in our retreats, in a private session. I get it all the time where people respond after a private session and say how their whole life has shifted. And yet, that was one side, and I realized that I have to put everything into that flow. And to do so, I had to sit in the stillness. I had to be present with myself. And I'm going to ask you to be present with yourself, even though it may be uncomfortable, even though it may be hard to do. And I guarantee it will be. Because our ego tries to keep the whole drama up. I mean, our ego tries to keep all the energy stirred up and create challenges because they love that drama. Well, I honestly don't believe that's necessary. I mean, many people that do what I do, not all, but many are not healthy physically. They're I don't know, heavier, they're just not as healthy physically. And I believe that, I mean, I know for the past 15 years I've gotten paid to be out of my body, but I haven't realized the whole toll that it's taken on my body. Because the body will only respond to what you do with it, I believe. I mean, unless your vibration, part of that is when you raise your vibration high enough, it may not have any effect on you. The world at large may not have any effect on you. I'm not there yet. You know, it's a matter of asking you and your body what it is that you want. What it is that is working for you and what it is that is not working for you. And then shift what is not working for you. And we're going to have a 21-day program to help you do that because I'm telling you right here and now, we are being rewired. We are being, our bodies, our systems are calibrating anew. Breathe that in. So everything in our DNA structure is shifting in our consciousness. The planet, it is my belief, I raise my hand when it's my opinion and not a factual based upon anybody else. We are in the fifth dimension. The people on the planet are kind of caught somewhere, and the vibration of the fifth dimension is very high. So we are calibrating anew, going where our DNA has never been before, to raise the vibration into the fifth dimensional frequency. So that's one of the things that's happening. I feel like I'm talking too fast. I'm excited about all this. So keep that in mind, that as your vibration, as your calibration is shifting, your body is shifting too. I mean, how many of you have had unexplainable pains, unexplainable disease? You know, I have a friend that she's been relatively healthy, although every once in a while she had chest pain and didn't really follow our guidance and go to the doctor and have it checked out. You know, she had a TIA, which is like a mini stroke. I have another friend that her back is, something's wrong with it. They've done MRIs, they've done everything. They can't find out why she's having trouble walking. I have another friend that was diagnosed with a really rare form of cancer. And as you know, people are leaving the planet. People are getting, it's too much for them, and they're just leaving the planet. A part of that is because our bodies are being calibrated anew. I don't even say recalibrated, because it's not anywhere where we've ever been before. However, our cellular programming, that's why everyone who registered for this webinar got the guided meditation, cellular healing, that was recorded during the double digit. We do a double digit activation every month. That's a channeling with Aderonda, and then there's some kind of an activation. This was the activation with it. Powerful cellular healing, because you see, we have programs, we have imprints, we have energy, we have things that are affecting our physical bodies. And with that capacity, our physical bodies are responding to that which we are requesting. Now, in your mind, you may be saying, I want my body to be strong and healthy and run a marathon or whatever. However, your habits or your energy may not be completely supporting that, or your belief may not be completely supporting that. So what we're doing in the activation a little later tonight and then for 21 days is we're acknowledging those imprints, acknowledging those programs, not going into them and figuring out what they all are. We don't care, because they're so simple, they're so minor in the total scheme of things. We're just going to release them and move forward from them, not going into all of the hoo-ha about the drama of them. That's what the ego likes. Oh yeah, I got this pain, I got that pain. Let me tell you about my surgery. You know, all that drama. We're not going to go there. You see, I believe, well, I know, because I've done it time and time again in private session. I know that I can take you, all y'all, into your physical body with your sensory perception, and you and I will be able to see, feel, hear, experience, and know where the blockages are. If you've injured your back, I heard from an old friend, it was so good to see your email. Sorry that you have a pain in your back, but we'll go into your back physically and release that pain and heal those muscles as quickly and easily as possible. I am sure that we can do that. I've done it with hundreds, I don't know, thousands of people on private sessions. So I know that it's possible for you to go inside of your own body. Once you can see, hear, feel, taste, whatever, inside of your body, then those blockages can actually be released for good. It's like they can be released for good. They don't have to come back. Once the imprint or the blockages, then you only have the habit to deal with. And then you have the old cellular programs to deal with. Now, that's where in the past couple of months, since the end of February, middle of February, I guess, I have permanently released 18 extra pounds. I told that to somebody today. She says, "What are you doing? What are you doing? How can I do that?" And I said, "Come on the webinar tonight." And I say released. I didn't lose it, because losing something is when you're going to find it again. I permanently released it because I don't ever choose for it to come back. And I didn't go on any special diet. I didn't go on any special eating plan. I didn't, because in my energy, I have discovered, especially this winter, the minute I say those words of diet or eating plan or anything like that, I immediately get anxious. I immediately want to go get a bag of chips. I have an immediate cellular reaction. So I had to go in and see what that was about. And whenever, like Joy, my wonderful business partner, Joy, she's so beautiful, and she's always saying, "Come to yoga, come to hot yoga. Let's go running, let's go walking." And it's like, I don't want to do that. Well, I realized this winter, it was so bizarre, and it was so simple. And I want you to start asking yourself this question too: is what is my earliest memory of caring for my body? What is my earliest memory of exercise or movement? What is my earliest memory? And within that lies the program for your emotional healing. I realized that my earliest memory for exercise, we'll just take that as an example, was when my mom would go over to Mrs. Moore's house and they would lay on the floor and they would exercise to Jack LaLanne. Now, that tells you how old I am, and it tells you how old you are if you remember Jack LaLanne. I was 4 at the time, maybe 3, and I would want to exercise with him, but I was in the way. And so I would get in trouble for being in the way. Get in trouble equals exercise, right? And then I was banished to the kitchen, and to keep me in the kitchen, I was eating cookies and candy. So every time after I went to a gym or went to work out, immediately afterwards I would have a craving for carbohydrates. I thought, well, that doesn't work. But I didn't realize that that was the program. So realization means it's gone. And I've been exercising ever since. Desiring it. I'm in physical therapy because I actually had knee surgery. And I'm in physical therapy, and the physical therapists are like, "No, that's enough for today." And it's like, "I want to do more. I want to do more." Because the habit of not moving has been released. And believe it or not, there's many people that have a habit of pain. They're used to their bodies being in pain. So when their bodies are not in pain, their cellular programming will create something to give them pain. That's where we're going. That's what we're working on for the next 21 days. You see, when a person is dealing with a diagnosis of a dis-ease, or they've been diagnosed with some sort of dis-ease of an organ or anything like that, that is all a part of that cellular programming. Take a deep breath. I believe, I'm sure, that cellular programming can be healed and released just as a back pain can be healed and released. I have clients that have been diagnosed with the terminal illness that the doctor said you're not going to be here in 6 months, or you're not going to be here in 3 months. Because they were willing to do what it took. They're still here, and that was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. You see, that belief that you buy into, that you inherit sickness or whatever, is really just a core emotional connection. And change happens first in the emotional body. Now, I know divine order happens, and sometimes people are meant to cross over. And sometimes there's a long-standing energy for that crossing over. I get that. And sometimes people are meant to have a disease to be, or an ailment, to bring consciousness to the planet. Christopher Reeve was a prime example. All of the handicap laws got changed because a movie star became a quadriplegic. I posted a video on the private Facebook page that was really hard to watch about a really rare disease that a little boy has called the butterfly child, I guess. And it's a private Facebook page, but you could certainly get to that video, I'm sure, somewhere. Because he has chosen to power through his pain, they're raising money to do research to find out what the cause or the cure of this terrible skin disorder is. So I don't want to say that what we're doing for the next 21 days is going to heal you, heal. What I'm saying is, what we're doing here today will shift your health in a way that I don't know if you thought it was possible or not, but I know it is. Now, how do we do that? Meditation, activation is the key. When you surrender to what is happening in your physical body and help redirect that energy flow, miraculous things can happen. Now, first of all, I should have you repeat, put your hand on your heart or your computer, repeat after me, raise your right hand. Anything that is said or done here does not replace your own traditional medical treatment. You can't say that I said don't go to doctors, because I do say go to doctors. It's not to replace your medical treatment. It is to work in conjunction with any treatment. So if you have a diagnosis and you're getting chemotherapy or radiation, I'm not telling you to stop that. If you're taking prescription medication, I'm not telling you to stop that. What I am telling you is many times your own cellular system can be recalibrated, calibrated anew, to accommodate a healthy way of living. And meditation is the one thing, I know it's the strangest thing you can imagine, sitting in the silence. What is the big deal? And yet it is statistically proven, and I can give you article after article after article after article of scientists, the medical associations all over the world that have tested meditation and said that that has more effect on the physical body than anything else. It changes a person's mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual state. Your blood pressure goes down with meditation. Your immune system boosts with meditation. Your body, because we're going to do body scanning, body alignment meditations, can actually rearrange. I have a client that from the United Kingdom, and after we went into her body and did what we're doing with you today and for the next 21 days maybe, um, she slept all night. She was in no pain. That's what can happen when you take back control of your body. It is a commitment, though. You do get the opportunity to commit to yourself, to commit to, as Aderonda says, the magnificence of you. So raise your right hand, put your hand on your computer, or whatever is sacred. I commit to myself to do whatever it takes to live the healthiest life I can. Take a deep breath. Breathe that in. I commit to do whatever it takes to live the healthiest life I can. And I know that is in my control. I know that is in my control. Yes, I injured my knee walking down a flight of stairs. Is that in my control? Yes. Oh, I was in a car wreck and injured my foot, so therefore my foot doesn't support my knee. Is that in my control? Yes. I notice I don't call it a car accident. There are no accidents. You see, it is about that commitment. And we have the synergy of several hundred people on with us tonight. And with that energy, feel that support team. Feel that energy. Feel that focus. And trust that miracles can happen. I know they can. I've witnessed them. I've been a part of them. And so have you. I want to share something with you from a friend of mine, Julia Cannon. She wrote a book, Soul Speak. She owns Ozark Mountain Publishing. I just recently went to the UFO conference, which was sponsored by Ozark Mountain Publishing. Dolores Cannon used to be the head person there, but she passed away this past year. And Julia, her daughter, wrote this book, and there was something in it that I really liked, and I wanted to get the words exactly right. And this will be on the recording, and you'll get the replay. So replay it and write this down. I mean, you can certainly write it down now, but I'd rather you listen. She says she was out on tour traveling, because she travels quite a bit, getting sick, serious sick. She could feel her body getting sick, and she needed to prevent this because she was working. And she said to her body, I love this, attention, bacteria and viruses in my body. This is God speaking to you, and I want to let you know how much you are loved and how grateful I am for your presence to teach me how to heal myself. Now, listen to that. Attention, bacteria and viruses in my body. This is God speaking to you. God moves through you. You know that. Source moves through you. I want to let you know how much you are loved and how grateful I am in your presence. I am for your presence to teach me how to heal myself. You have done your job. I am now going to release you with much love and thanks and gratitude. You may now travel into the light to continue your journey with much love and much thanks. I then imagined and saw them, the viruses and bacteria, as tiny specks of color traveling out of my body and moving towards and exiting through a golden white light doorway. I repeated this twice, and then several times throughout the day for the next couple of days. It truly worked. Other than having cold feet, I felt wonderful and did not develop any other symptoms. You see, the body does not inherit sickness. I had to deal with that fact because the doctor told me that I was a good candidate for a knee replacement in the next couple of years, in the next year. And both of my parents have 2 knee replacements each. And it's like, that's not my reality. I choose something different. I'm forgetting to look at the screen instead of looking at the camera. There's study after study after study that supports energetic healing. More money has been spent on alternative therapies in the past 10 years than on traditional medical treatment. It's so powerful. Your intention carries forth that magnificent healing, whether it's weight mastery, whether it's organ mastery. Maybe your liver is weak. Maybe when we go into the meditation today, that you'll find out that your liver is not as red and healthy as you thought it was. Then you get to do something about that. You see, it's all about being in the stillness and answering those questions. It's all about going into each organ and going inside your body and acknowledging how grateful we are for it. And to know that thought follows that feeling, and that creates an action. In David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, The Pathway of Surrender, great book, he asks the question, when faced with a problem, what is the basic feeling that I've been ignoring? So this problem was created. What is the basic feeling that I've been ignoring? And that can adapt to your physical body. It can adapt to anything. He used the example of a guy that was going on an international tour. He's going to go make a big presentation in China or someplace like that. And he actually lost his passport right before he was going to get on the plane. Couldn't find his passport. He was leaving for the flight like the next day. Couldn't find his passport anywhere. Was so angry with himself, and he kept saying, "Why are you so stupid that you didn't keep track of your passport? Why are you so stupid?" And then he would yell at his family because he figured they must have moved it. What's going on? And then he remembered letting go, the pathway of surrender. And he said, so he sat down and meditated and asked the question, what is the basic feeling that I've been ignoring? And he was so surprised that what came up was grief and guilt. Inside, on a subconscious level, he felt grief about leaving his family. He felt guilty about leaving his kids at this particular time. And then he felt inadequate. He felt fear because he was afraid that his presentation wasn't as good, that he wasn't as good as he wanted to be. So you see, that's what happened. And you say, well, what does having somebody lose their passport have to do with optimal health? It's the same thing. It's the same thing. When you're talking about your health, what is it? What feeling are you missing? That is, what's the basic feeling that you've been ignoring to cause the body to live in its optimal health? I believe that everything starts with a feeling. People say, the body achieves what the mind believes. I think it's kind of almost opposite of that. You see, I believe that everything starts with that feeling of I choose to take action. That feeling then translates into the mind. Now, yes, how you phrase things, how you word things, that is very, very important. Everything follows your intention. And intention now is greater than anything. Intention, I know, why it doesn't work with the lottery, I'm not sure. But you see, that intention, I'm trying to find out where the heck I am here. That intention is the key to what is stopping you from you know what you need to do. You know what it takes. But there's something inside that sometimes seems to prevent you from the action, the health. The doctor said, well, you're really healthy for somebody your age. It's like, excuse me? For somebody my age? I am ageless. And so are you. Well, I am hearing that Aderonda would like to give you a message. After the message with Adironnda, and it will be an activation meditation, we will have some time for question and answer, and then we'll hopefully, and then we'll present our special offer, which is divinely guided, absolutely divinely guided. So take a deep breath. I deliberately clear and seal this space on all sides, all directions, above and below, around myself and around each person that is on this webinar with us and each person that listens to it in the future. And I fill that space with source and followers of source from the light. I'm so thankful to be a direct channel for the Holy Spirit and the cosmic Christ consciousness. I'm honored by the presence of each of our master guides, teachers, and angels. I know that they each hold the intention for each person that's here with us and in the future, that everything that is said, everything that is activated is for their own personal highest good and highest joy. If need be, I open the Akashic records to see past, present, and future. I also ask that my conscious self step aside so the information that comes through is clear, concise, and succinct. And for this I give thanks. So it is good day to you, huh? Very good to see each of you again. And we know that today we are calibrating anew your own cellular being, your own cellular activity. And know that these techniques that we are working with in the next few days, they are powerful energy sources. We're not going to tell you what to eat, what to drink, what to do, any of that, because it is much beyond that. We are in the fifth dimension, you see. So your body, the rewiring that is taking place, your body, your cells, your energy are searching for their new place, their new rhythm, their new frequency. And it has something to do with what you put in your body, yes. But you have to find out what that works for your own body. We are only here to help and guide you. You get the opportunity to find out what movement works in your body, because that personal trainer or that exercise person or that person over there, they can't tell you what works in your body. However, once you find that, and we hope you do when we go into meditation today, once you do, everything begins to shift and follow suit. Everything. Our sweet divine vessel Marilyn is the trailblazer for that. She is wearing a shirt she has not worn in 2 years. You see, it is not about poundage. It is about cells. It is not about the skin. It is about the muscles underneath of the skin. What we are doing today through this whole energy of this entire webinar is we are activating the cells of your body. We're activating your bones, your nerves, your muscles, your organs, your veins, your arteries, your glands, your circulation, your heart. We are activating all of that to shift in the consciousness of whatever optimal health means for you. Whatever optimal energy means for you. You are the only one that can judge that. Now, we talked to someone today that they said, oh, I can't make it to the webinar because this and this and this. And I did my meditation with Saint Germain and blah, 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 and told us this little story about all of this. But I'm not going to come to the webinar tonight. However, they are going to go to their doctor today and tomorrow because they claim to have this ache or that pain or this dis-ease. You see, that person wanted to keep that disease because it gives them clout, it gives them status, it gives them an identity. We don't know why. But that person did. You can choose differently. We ask you to make that commitment to yourself. As the body is being recalibrated, as the energy is being re-evaluated, as the energy is evaluating who you are now in relationship to who you are becoming, that is where the truth lies. You see what we say? That is where the energy frequency flows through. Because of that, the body is looking for its own rhythm. The body is awakening you to pay attention to it. The body is acknowledging that movement is important. Unless your vibration is so high, that you can lay on the sofa and feed your mind full of television commercials all day long and still have a strong, healthy body, and it is possible, unless you can eat whatever you want and put all of Monsanto's drugs into your body and that they call green peas or beans or whatever, and your body is not affected by it because your vibration is so high. Most people are not. They get the opportunity to shift their desires as to why their body craves certain things, why their body has an aberration to other things. It's all in your programming. All. We are here to release it. We are here to assist. We think before we do the activation, we might have to answer a few questions because it might take you a little bit more time to come back into your body after that. So do we have any questions there? Is the joy still with us, eh?
I'm here, Aderonda. Hello.
Very good to see you.
Nice to see you too. We do have some questions. Would you like me to share them with you now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Well, the first one comes from our friend David, And he says, we've heard about the move into the fifth dimension, and yet for so many of us, we are still experiencing the issues of the fourth. It becomes discouraging, depressing, and now these issues with the physical. So when do we really shift?
As you gather to, that's a wonderful question, sweet David. It's good to see your energy. As you gather together with the intention of raising your vibration, and we know that you do in groups, there's a group synergy that happens that helps shift it. How much time are you spending thinking about what you don't want to happen? How much time are you spending in meditation? How much time are you spending acknowledging the fact that your body doesn't seem to be working the same anymore, so it must be wrong? How much time are you spending in appreciation? The visible Marilyn has been asking friends, what is one thing that you did to change your health? One person, our sweet friend Robbie, said, appreciation. Find something every single day to appreciate. That raises your vibrational frequency. Appreciation. It is also about not, you can take supplement after supplement after supplement, and you can do this and this and this and this, and spend all of your time distracting yourself from the challenge that it is at hand, and just simply be. Now, yes, it is good to take some supplements, and it is good to follow your own guidance and get health aspects. Go to the chiropractor, or get acupuncture, or go on the John of God palette, whatever. But what we're saying is, for all of that, spend as much time in prayer and meditation. Spend as much time in the stillness. That raises your vibration. Keep a gratitude journal. That raises your vibration. Look at the foods that you are eating. We have a wondrous friend that is curing her diabetes by going almost 80% raw food. Miraculous things happen when you pay attention to what goes into your body. You, David, however, must find that out for yourself. So in moving into the fifth dimension, are you focusing so much on the fourth dimension that is in training your energy down there? Or have you decided, I'm in the fifth dimension, this is what I'm living in, and accept it and believe it? Instant manifestation is that fifth dimension. The Black Panther story for the vessel Marilyn, if you don't know the story, ask her sometime. She loves to tell it. You see, that energy of the fifth dimension, you are so close. Breathe into it. That is what we're doing for the next 21 days, is calibrating anew our bodies so it can accommodate that fifth dimensional living. Does that help? We certainly hope so. What is the next question?
Adironnda, this question comes from our friend Michelle, and first of all, she thanks you and Marilyn for the unexpected gift. She's wondering if there's an explanation for feeling so fatigued in the afternoon, also, and not desiring any particular food, though fast food is never a draw.
That is good. Good for you. Congratulations. The sluggishness and the tiredness in the afternoon, we ask you, when was the first time you remember feeling that? And what was your childhood programming? Did you take naps in the afternoon? Is your body responding to that program now? Are you resting through the night? Are you going into your own physical form? Many people, middle of the afternoon, get that letdown, get that sluggishness, get that feeling of fatigue. And a part of it is also cellular training from when you took a nap or a siesta in the afternoon after you ate. So to counterbalance that, we believe that you take digestive enzymes. If you don't, go muscle test some and see which ones work for you. But it still has to do with sort of that calibration of your own pineal system, your own adrenaline system. So it looks as though your adrenaline is a bit low. You might muscle test some pantothenic acid, a supplement that you get from the health food store. That helps balance out your adrenals. And in that capacity, when we go into the meditation, go into your adrenal gland, Michelle, sweet Michelle, and ask where the sluggishness is. What is it that you must do in order to counterbalance that? We hope that helps. Next question.
This question is from our friend Salome Aderonda, and she wants to know, what does eating too much indicate?
It many times it has to do with filling an emotional hole. There's something that you are missing in your life, and therefore you're trying to fill that up with taste and texture and wondrous foods. The vessel Marilyn was doing that. It is like when she was anxious, she would want to eat. When she celebrated, she would want to eat. When she was sad, she would want to eat. She was filling that emotional hole. And many of those foods that you go to are empty foods. They have no nutritional value. And so, but usually it is about filling something up. That is one reason. Many times a person feels the need for physical protection, and that could come from a childhood thing, that they need to protect themselves with excess padding so they don't get emotionally or physically hurt. Many times it's just from being grounded. They want to be grounded, and when you're a bit heavier, you are theoretically more grounded, which you know that you are not. So there could be several things that are going on there. In the meditation, go in and ask, what emotional core program causes you to want to eat when you're not hungry? You know, we saw a postcard that somebody had posted on Facebook that said, if you're standing in front of the refrigerator and you're not hungry enough to eat an apple, you're not very hungry. So you see, it is about what the mind is telling the body. So start really exploring your hunger factor. And again, in the next 21 days, we will do just exactly that. Next question.
This question is from our friend Sheila, and she wants to know if you know what has caused her lower back problems in the last several years.
Sweet Sheila. Well, initially, lower back problems are about finances, lack of support in the financial end. That is according to Louise Hay. And it is also about the lack of emotional support. Your lower back also are you drinking enough water? Because we realize that you can't answer us. Well, you can, but we can't hear you. It feels like a part of it is a real sluggishness in your kidneys. That it's really, your kidneys are having a little trouble processing, that they need a little more flushing. There's also little calcium spares that are developing on your spine, and they're beginning to press on some nerves back there, right at the base of your spine, as if you were to put your hand over it. We feel it just below the waist. And so, if you were to, uh, in as we go through the meditation today and through the 21 days, if you're going to do that, then start rearranging those bones. Start accelerating and separating your spinal column, just to extend it out just a little bit, just not to move slower than your fingernails grow. You don't want to be moving your spinal column around. Oh yeah, let's move that or do this. You want to move it very, very slow when you're talking about the spinal column. And then start flushing your kidneys. It looks like those three things, the financial support, emotional support, kidney challenge, and those little calcium spares. I don't even know that they would show up yet on an MRI or an X-ray, because they're beginning to, well, they have it for some time, but it looks like it is almost on we don't know, we're not a doctor, we don't play one on TV, but it feels like it is on the inside of the spine, so it would not even show up in an X-ray. So start working on the inside of your spine in meditation. It looks like it is time for us to do a meditation. Anyone else that has questions, come to the radio show tomorrow. We'll see you there, because we don't want to lose track of time. I mean, is that all right, Joy? Is there something else that's really burning that must be answered now?
No, I think that's fine, Adironnda. Thank you.
Oh, good. Good. So everyone, if you want to close your eyes, you can. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. We're going to go in very rapidly and then come back out rapidly. But first, we're going to anchor your energy at the center of the earth. Take a deep breath and send it down and anchor it there. Bring that energy back up from the center of the earth and just surround yourself with love. Open the crown chakra. Take a deep breath and send your energy all the way up to the highest level of your oversoul. And just remain tethered there, oversoul to earth. And we're just going to bring a wondrous, iridescent light. It is a light of illumination. And we're going to bring that illuminating light. And it's going to come in through your crown. And take a deep breath. And you are the one that is holding that light. And we are right there with you. So you are holding that light. Maybe it's a flashlight. Maybe it's a lantern. Whatever that light looks like is perfect. We're going to go into your brain and feel the folds of the brain. And our intention is to hold that wondrous, miraculous brain, aligning it to receive and accept the wiring process of the new DNA. Bring that light to your sinuses. Behind, inside, look around in your sinuses. If you've experienced sinus challenges, take that light and look right where that challenge is centered. Then see what it would take to dislodge that challenge and turn it into powder and blow it out your nose. Go into your throat. Bring that light with you. Check out your thyroid if you've got one. If your thyroid has been removed, some people that are here with us have had their thyroid removed. So we're going to send that space where the thyroid was, activating energy of returning to balance. Good. Now we're going to bring that light. We're going to expand your lungs. Go through your esophagus. Some of you have some scar tissue there. We're just going to break down that scar tissue if that is possible, for the highest good. Go through the lungs and look around and see what you see or sense or feel. Do not judge what you are seeing. It may not look like the inside of your lungs at all. It may look like a child playing. It may look like a chalkboard. We are repeating things that we are seeing within some of you. It may look like a crossword puzzle. Make a note of that, a mental note, to return to that and ask what it means. What is the feeling that it represents, the core issue? Go through the lungs, through the veins, and let us just install a little roto-rooter fellow to go through your lungs and stay in there for 24 hours. Go through all of your veins and arteries. He's got a really soft, like llama fur brush that he's just going to brush the edges, the inside of all your veins and arteries. If you lay very still in the next 24 hours, you may have that sensation of where he is in your body. You move into your heart. Bring that flashlight with you. Bring that lantern. Illuminate the inside of the heart. What do you sense or see? What do you feel? What do you hear? Remember, do not pass judgment. Is the heart in pain? Is there a fence around it? Is there a brick wall around it? Are there guards? Is it open and free? Just have the awareness. Look around and ask to be shown if there's any imbalances in your heart. Ask for that to be highlighted so you can then pay attention to that. Good. Go into your stomach. How does that feel? What is in it? Does it feel empty? Is it longing for something? Does it feel rich and full? Hold that light all around in your stomach. So you can look at the walls and see what they look like. And fill that space with healing energy. Fill your heart with healing energy. Fill your lungs and your esophagus and your sinuses with healing energy. And your glandular system with healing energy. Move into your liver. What color is it? What texture is it? You have your gallbladder. What color is it? What texture is it? If you do not have your gallbladder, then just send that space good healing energy to bring your body back into a place of balance, as if you did have a gallbladder. As you move through your intestines, your bowels, and your colon, bring that light and look around. See about roughing up some of that filament that is laid down with oil to be able to push things through. Gently. Go into your, if you're a female, go into your uterus or ovaries, or where they were if they've been removed. If you're a male, going into your scrotum, go into your testicles, go into your personal organs. And breathe that pure health into them. Balance. Look around with light. See if there's any scar tissue. See if there's anything that, tumors, fibroid tumors, that you could start visualizing and breaking them down. See if there's any swelling. Breathe into that. Somebody's holding their breath, going into their private parts. Breathe into that energy. See that flow of oxygen like little iridescent lights moving through your body. See your bones. As you see your bones, if they look too porous or like they've got little holes in them, look like cottage cheese, strengthen them. If you suddenly get a pain or discomfort, when we're talking about the bones, that is one area that would desire your attention. Take that light and look at the miraculous way the blood flows through your veins and arteries. And the miraculous way your nerves are all connected in your ears to your feet. And look at that light and see if there's any disconnects there. See if there's any challenges there. Make note of that for later meditations. Setting as much as you can in balance now. And look at the way your muscles just wrap all that energy. It's so beautiful, the texture of your muscles. What will it take to get those muscles stronger? Breathing is one thing it will take. Breathe into your muscles and feel the layers between your muscles and your skin all working effectively. Bring that light in and look around at your feet. As you see that light, make note. Bring in the healing energy of the Master Yeshua, the Lord Buddha, the magnificent healers of our time, Madame Curie. To work on healing those places that you have seen, sensed, felt, heard that are not in balance. Feel that body surrendering to perfection. And breathe into it. If there's any part of your body that is in physical pain, we ask the healing hands to go in and pull that physical pain out if it is possible. Now. We bring that light and we feel that health aspect bubbling into your body. Just feel the joy and tingling sensation of your body as you surrender to the perfection of your own health. feel your spine aligning with a perfect amount of space in between each vertebrae, and the spinal cords being well lubricated. And feel your digestive system working for you, giving you definite signals as to whether you're hungry or just trying to feel some emotional challenge. So you know clearly which is which. Take a deep breath and release with sound. We're going to tone just a bit. And as we're toning, we're going to bring that light back out of your crown and put it back up into your oversoul. We're going to balance your emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual bodies, so you feel rested and relaxed, feeling wondrous. Take another deep breath. When you feel comfortable, open your eyes. Felt like Master Yeshua came in there for a bit, huh? Yeah.
Oh, I got so hot.
Good.
Open up the window.
Good. That is very powerful. You see, and that is how it works. That is what we're doing for 21 days. We're just bringing in that health aspect for you, dearest beings of light. We love you so deeply. We came all this way just for you. We love your energy. We hold that frequency. Stay with us. Stay with us for a bit. Hold that frequency. Trust who you are. Trust that energy. Trust that focus. Trust yourself and your body. We love you deeply. We bid you namaste.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. It did get very hot there. I know we're running long on time. I apologize for that. I really just feel so passionately about this. I really want, I desire, I believe that in the next 21 days that we are going to have a most magnificent energy that we call the daily call, 21 days to optimal health. No excuses. I'm so excited about this program because I've seen it, and it's been working on my physical body. And I've made tiny changes in my life. Tiny. I mean, tiny. I've started a shaman. My friend Mindy the shaman told me to drink 2 big glasses of water every day before I have a cup of coffee or before I do anything else. I've been doing that every day, and well, it gets all your organs moving. I mean, 2 big glasses, like actually more than about 30 ounces of water um, uh, before I do anything. And it gets everything flowing, and my constitution is really good. Um, but that's just one simple thing. I've got a whole list of things that I could share with you about things that you can change, that you can shift. Do I hear an echo? I don't now. um, anyway, uh, our I want to share this program with you. I told you at the beginning that we were going to have a special offer. It is a very special offer. Now keep in mind that when you compare what we're doing to what other people do, there's not really any comparison. I was trying to think of, how do I explain the price? And I looked at Deepak Chopra, which is like, $5,000 a day. And if you broke that down to what his hourly rate would be, and how much it would cost to do 21 hours or 21 time periods with Deepak Chopra, and it's like $4,000. And then I said, well, I'm not Deepak Chopra. Then I looked at someone that was closer to me and said, well, what do they charge? My friend Lee Carroll and Cryon, they wonderful, wonderful channel for an afternoon with Lee and Cryon. It's like $109, and then when you take their meals and flight and airfare to get there, it's maybe a couple $100, $300, whatever. When you break that down, it's like, I don't know. Charging money for this program is almost hard for me, and yet I know there has to be that equal exchange of energy, because what people seem to pay for, they get more out of. They're more committed to it. That's how our society is working up. So I thought, well, so if it's 21 days of half-hour sessions, right? Which it would be 21 days of like 45-minute sessions, maybe. A half-hour session is $111. So if you take that times 21, that's like $2,300. Perfect. Joy will love it. And then I thought, that limits the accessibility. What I'm offering is 21 days live with me and Adironnda for 30, 45 minutes, I don't know, maybe an hour, in the morning, doing meditation, activation, and then a discussion about your body, your cellular body. And I've got all kinds of things that you can do that are like drinking 2 glasses of water every morning before you get up, or before you have your coffee or tea or whatever, that will shift your total constitution, shift your total energy. That are like little tiny things, not, okay, go to the gym and exercise for 4 hours and do this and do that. No, that's not my reality. There's lots and lots of programs that you can do. Psyche is a great program. EFT tapping is a great program. Quantum touch is a great program. Reiki is a great program. They're all great programs. What I'm going to do is bring all the programs that I know, Reiki, quantum touch, dimensional healing, Karuna, all together into a 21-day program for my personal optimal health and your personal optimal health. And I thought, what is that worth? I have people that spend a lot of money to spend an hour with me. What is it worth to do that 21 times? And yet my guidance was to make it so everybody can do it. My guidance was to make it so there's just a little nudge of a commitment to yourself, so you're willing to show up, because by golly, I paid for this, I'm showing up. or I'm listening to the recordings because I paid for it. I can't show up during live, but I can show up with the recordings. So we're going to offer you a 21-day program of meditation, activation, community support, synergy magnified by however many people we have, whether it's 50, whether it's 100, whether it's 10. We hope it's 50 or 100 for $99, not $2,300. $99, and it's so important to us that you show up that we're willing to break that up into 2 payments. Because I know that the reason that so many of you joined us today is because you have something going on with your physical body. I know that whatever you have going on, we can help you shift that energy. I know that. I've done it with thousands of people. The good news is I'm doing it with me to put myself in integrity. And I'm taking you with me. Did I use all my words in explaining that, Joy? Oh, also, one more thing. Also, in addition to 21 days, we're going to have 2 follow-up calls, one on the 19th and one on the 26th. 2. So you can then share your experience and share what it's like after the 21 days. Because this is a lifelong thing, meditation, activation. And I am so excited about it. It is so, I'm getting message after message after message as to what do you do with a liver that when you look at it, it's got yellow stuff all around it and they do what they call a fatty liver. I'm getting some information about what to do about that. What do you do when your back aches? How do you break those bones, those little calcium things that I heard you talking about with Aderonda? How do you break those down? I can share that information, and you can do it. That's what we're doing for 21 days. Woohoo!
And when does it start?
Oh, that's important. It starts Thursday, the 23rd, because I don't want to give you time to think about it. I don't want to get, oh, I've got excuse for that excuse and this or that or la, la, la. Oh, I can't do that because I don't have time. Whatever. You know, do you have time for yourself? I can't do that because I have to be at work at 8 o'clock, and it's going to be at 8 o'clock in the morning, or in Central Time it's going to be at 6 o'clock in the morning. Oh, my goodness, I have to get up at 5:45 to do a meditation at 6 o'clock. Yeah. Because you're worth it. Because I want to help you love your body like I'm learning to love mine. So it starts Thursday, April 23rd. Tomorrow, the 22nd, we don't want to confuse you, is the radio show. Blog Talk Radio, Visionaries in Light. Thursday at 6 a.m. Pacific Time, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, 3 in the afternoon Israel, 8 or 9 o'clock at night in Australia. I don't know what it is in the United Kingdom or Hong Kong. I have time and date convergence on my website, though. You can go look.
We do have a question, Marilyn, about the program.
Yes.
It is recorded. Each day the recording will be uploaded to your customer hub, and you can access it like within an hour usually or two of the live session. So if you're traveling and you have to miss one, or if you have to miss all of them, you can actually participate through the recording in your customer hub.
Yes. And that's the cool thing, is we'll upload them usually within an hour. And this has happened in all of our other meditation classes that we've done. The whole energy, like you felt, Joy, that you felt hot during that meditation. I got like sweaty and then tingly, and all that energy is still on the recordings. it happens remotely. So it doesn't matter if you are able to join us live or in person or on Memorex or on the recording. The energy of the activations will still be there. And, hopefully some days you can come on live, weekends for some people, that's when they come on live. Our attendance always goes up on weekends, so people can talk to us and share their stories and share what's going on. And we get into a personal thing there as well.
Yeah. There's a Facebook page, too.
There's a Facebook page, a private, confidential Facebook page. It's not a part of any of our other programs. It's private and confidential, so you can share anything that you want. You can share selfies. You can post things. Private Facebook page. For all the people that subscribe, that join us in the program, they'll get invited to the Facebook page. What else did I forget?
Well, our friend Lauren is asking what time, and it's at 6 a.m. Pacific time, so it's early for some of you, and like Marilyn said, the recording's there if you can't make it at 6.
And Lauren, I think you're in Eastern time zone, if it's the Lauren that I'm thinking of, and that would be 9 a.m. in your time zone. And again, if you're already at work or you can't make it, it's always recorded. In fact, during our last meditation mastery class, we had some people that would download it and do it on their lunch hour at work, and said that it shifted their whole day.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Or did it, downloaded it and did it on their break at work. And we had some people that were out of town for a few days. They picked right up with us. They said that it didn't matter whether I don't know if it matters if they're on live or not. It didn't seem to, which my little ego says, but I want them to be on live. But that's, we'll learn how to control that ego. Any other questions? How do they sign up?
Oh, there's a link. You probably can't see it. There's a link, right? It should be on their screen right next to Webinars on Air, and they can click through that link. And if they're listening to the recording, they can go to, let's see, it's b.aderonda.com. I'm going to have to look it up.
It's
keep talking, Marilyn.
get.aderonda.com /
I think it's optimal health, but let me just double check.
That's the webinar. Yeah, I'll keep talking.
Okay, it's get.aderonda.com / daily-call-health. So that's get.aderonda, which is ADIRONNDA.com / daily-call-health. That's the landing page to sign up for the program that begins on Thursday. And if you can't begin with us on Thursday, that's okay, because everything's recorded and you can start at any time. But Marilyn does really recommend, and I've done the meditation mastery programs with Marilyn. They're really awesome. She does recommend that you do it for 21 days because, why 21 days, Marilyn?
That's a great question. Well, Dr. Yasui and Reiki went up and prayed on the mountain for 21 days, and that's when he got the Reiki symbols. 21 days actually gives you a really good, if you do anything for 21 days, that gives you a really good start on that habit, that pattern, that frequency of getting it into your cells. And for some reason, 21 days is like a magic number. You have 7-year cycles, and you end the cycle in 7 years, and that's just the third cycle. And so the 21 days is like really anchors it into your cells for the meditation. So you'll start a meditation practice if you don't have one, and you'll juice up the meditation practice if you do have a meditation practice. Does that answer 21 days?
I think you nailed it. I think that's I don't see any more questions. Christy's been kind enough to port questions over to me. We did have quite a few questions that we didn't get to in the Q&A, but I encourage you to come over to our radio show that starts at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Actually, it's 11:11, but Blog Talk Radio won't allow us to schedule it that way. But join us tomorrow, Wednesday, 422. It's got to be a double digit. 422, Blog Talk Radio, Visionaries in Light Radio. Or you could Google Marilyn Harper, and you'll find it that way. I mean, you can go into Blog Talk Radio and do a search for Aderonda or Marilyn. You'll find it that way as well. And tomorrow, I see Marilyn's trying to say something. Tomorrow, I actually, this is one of my favorite things that I get to do is on Blog Talk Radio. I get to chat with Adironnda, and I get to, have a little Q&A with them and answer questions and relay questions, but it's a really special time for me as well. So tomorrow will be about optimal health.
They can ask questions live as well. We open up the microphone.
That's right. That's right, and also Visionaries in Light Radio. If you go there to Blog Talk Radio, we have links that you can get. You can sign up for reminders, so you'll get reminders for all of our radio shows, which are on the 11th and the 22nd of each month at 11 a.m. And usually one I will interview Adironnda, so you can send in your questions. It's a really nice little chat. And then the other one, we bring on guest speakers, visionaries throughout the planet that are doing just amazing things. Many of them are speakers at our convergence this year in Arkansas, and there's a whole archive there on Blog Talk Radio. You can subscribe to our podcast. You can go to Adironnda.com, ADIRONNDA.com, and on the website, just look up in the navigation bar for Visionaries in Light Radio. Click on that link and you can sign up for reminders there as well.
And there was something I was going to say, but I forgot what it was. Oh, is it possible for Christy to download the questions that were not asked and save them out so we can, maybe answer some of those directly? And if that's possible, that's great. And if they have any other questions, they can email us at info@Adironnda, info@Adironnda.com. If they have questions about the program or questions about this juicy 21-day energy that we're doing.
Yeah, and then for those of you, I can see quite a few people have already signed up. I do have a little screen here that shares information with me. I love data.
You do.
I do love data, yeah. So I welcome those of you who are joining us on Thursday, and also I just want to give a real heartfelt shout out to all of those who made the time to spend your Tuesday evening with us here with Marilyn and with Aderonda and Company, with myself, and also with Christy Daniels.
You sound like an alien.
Oh, I am an alien.
Well, I know. Let me repeat what you just said, that we really want to thank each of you for spending your Tuesday night with us.
Right.
Very, very powerful, and thank you for making the commitment to yourself to shift into optimal health, to say no more excuses. I am taking charge of my life and my body, and the only body you've got now, so you might as well.
That's right. And we look forward to seeing you on Thursday, if not tomorrow.
Thursday, we've already had several people register, so register fast because we only have room for a certain number of people. So I think we max out at a certain number, don't we? I don't know. That's not my business to know. But anyway, if you have any questions on it, let us know. Let us know. Thank you all for spending Tuesday with us.
Namaste.
Namaste, y'all. Namaste.
Namaste.